You take the dirt road out to the fork. No, you turn left. No, you go out there, you're just gonna end up in the field. Listen, I gotta go. Y'all have fun tonight.
Hello, I am Todd Giebenheim, and I believe in magic.
And I'm Jeff Stinko, and I'm happy to be a relative nobody.
Looking for something to help deal with the non-human criminal element? We got it all. People want to protect themselves from monsters.
Medically ill people are not your inferiors. We're the original oppressed minority. Let my people go, give us our health care.
There's a lot of people wondering why the government does not acknowledge the existence of other soups, as you put it. I think people have a right to know. Andy!
That's for Emery and Suzanne, you human piece of shit.
Oh, hell no. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering why I ended up in this situation. Well, I've never really publicly told the story of my first acting job and how I moved to ELA. I've been effectively undercover about my CF for so long that it sort of got lost in the shuffle, but maybe this crowd will appreciate it. I grew up in a small Oregon town south of Portland called Newburgh. After my second year of college at Western Oregon State College, Wausau, I'm told, a friend's son who was a photographer about me, and I got some headshots taken. He referred me to his agents, and through them I eventually met my future friend, mentor, and teacher, Irene Kagan. That summer after my sophomore year, I decided I would quit school to move to California and see what happened. So I didn't enroll for my junior year. Then I got sick from a family vacation in Minnesota and lost a lot of weight. So my doctor, for the first time in my life, ordered me into the hospital for the dreaded ritual I'd always heard about but never experienced. A CF cleanout with 2 weeks of IV antibiotics. As an athlete who tried to avoid antibiotics for fear of developing resistance, this was a devastating line to cross. Looking back, it was a pivotal event in coming to terms with my condition and my functional denial up to that point. It was demoralizing at the time, a scary defeat. I wasn't the freakishly lucky and healthy punk with CF anymore. I actually had the disease now, the one that had already killed many of the kids I'd gone to camp with. I still remember sitting and talking with one of my dearest CF camp friends, Chelsea. As I was being discharged, we'd been sweet on each other for years, but had fallen out of contact. Her hands were in pain because medical staff had to keep using them for IDS. Her arm veins were getting scarred from PC lines. I felt so helpless for her, but relieved for myself to be going home. This was in Best Kaiser Hospital in Portland, Oregon, August 1995. It would be the last time I saw her. Being sick put an end to the half-baked idea of moving to Hollywood, and I ended up staying in Oregon that winter. Since I hadn't enrolled at WAS, I stayed at my parents' place and took part-time classes at Portland State University, tennis, Spanish, and philosophy. That's also when I started taking acting classes with Irene. She was a casting director in Los Angeles, living part of the year in Portland with her boyfriend. Her office was casting the must-see TV shows at NBC at the time. I'd been given a stack of flyers for classes when I auditioned for the agents, and when I called her, we ended up talking for hours. A truly unique and generous lady. After I got the hang of things in her class, she encouraged me to think seriously about actually moving down south. She even helped convince my parents that I could get work and survive there. By the next summer, I'd signed with the agency and started auditioning in Portland. I'd made friends with another guy from Irene's class, and we decided to move down together as roommates. We bought tickets to fly down and stay with another friend to look for an apartment. But when it came time to go, on that day he had an anxiety attack at the thought of leaving home and backed out. He didn't show up to the airport. I went anyway. I applied to move into a small studio apartment in the same building as the LA friend. In the next few weeks, I was ready to load a truck and set out on my own. Then I got the call that I'd booked my first professional acting job. A commercial for Kaiser by minute. Of all the advertisers in all the world, I would shoot the day or two before I was planning to move away. When I arrived at the shoot, it was the Best Kaiser Hospital, where I'd been admitted exactly 1 year before. We filmed in the same wing where I'd been a patient. I actually stashed my belongings in my old hospital room. 1 year after I'd imagined that my dreams had been crushed, after I had confronted the seriousness of my disease, after I'd become a college dropout, here I was in exactly the position I'd hoped to be. filming my first job magically. For the company that had taken care of my CF my whole life, with my U-Haul loaded for LA 1 year later, healthy. I moved down that weekend in '96. And by the end of '97, I'd booked my first TV roles. Signed with a local agent and joined the unions. Couple decades later, I'm still here in LA, living in an apartment with a parrot butt, so far managing to do what I love. Nowadays, I check into the hospital twice a year on purpose, is to stay ahead of the infections. But you never forget your first. For those of you who are interested, the Kaiser Permanente commercial is searchable on my Facebook profile. I wrote this poem circa 2011. By the end of 2015, my PFTs were down to 32 and I was struggling. Then Orkambi came, now I'm on Symdeko, just one pill twice a day. My PFTs have topped out at 51 so far. We're not exactly cured yet, but we're finally gaining back some ground, it's coming. I used to have cystic fibrosis, but they cured me. I used to have a leaden chest, but I ain't burdened no more. Just one pill twice a day keeps the fresh lungs clean that I grew last season. A reversal of genes that were put on wrong. I used to have denial, shouting that these diseases didn't define me. I was my own person. Watch me play ball, hit chicks like a real boy, see me beat the prog so it rolled in steady and bogged me down. Calmly gripping my throat, shadow casting my boxed out brain. Look up. Now I can see the fight, because it's finally fucking over. Dust is settling behind me, but not inside me anymore. No more insulin teasing. Come here, sugar, and let me stick you, so who am I? I am a soldier who made it home, not a martyr of war, but like my million twins, the Chrome 7 Samurai, I so could have been. Would have been if not for the chip on my brick shoulder, leaning against a competitive, blinded world. It kept me alive for hope, and now I love it all. My trophy is fearlessness. I once had scars, blew lots of tissue. Hello there, world, my elastic ribcage is floating lightly these days. Come here, sugar, and let me stick you. Look out, sweetness, cause I'm loaded for bearing mighty weight. Stack it up, dragons, and brings it. I'ma breathe fire and knock your damn socks off. And that is how I got here for today. Happy birthday to me.